All right, so Jerome is in the room. Hey, Jerome, you guys. There's so much on Jerome that I honestly don't know where to start. I've been a fan of Jerome's and have known him for more than 10 years now. We met in the well, actually we met at church actually, which is ironic. But he's the ultimate artist and creative. But when I first knew of him was when I saw him on Life in the Fab Lane with Kimura Lee Simmons. So he started there. That's where I first remember seeing him. And he was really young then. Like Jerome's been in the business for some time. It's almost like he was birthed into the business. And he's a creative in multiple disciplines. He started as a creative director and costume designer, again, with Kimura and Baby Phat. But since then, he's gone on to do his own collection, 531 Jerome, which is worn by most of your faves. Lots of names. There could be lots of name dropping here. Beyonce, Rihanna's, lots of other people. I'll give you those two because that's what you want. So I gave it what you want. But yeah, so he's done that. He's opened a shop in South Bronx. He's a proud Bronx native. When I lived in the Bronx, I lived around the corner from his shop, the Gallotique, which was beautiful. It was like this oasis with beautiful. It was just everything in it was beautiful. His designs were there. It was beautiful. He always shows up in this mystical unicorn type way. He's an amazing creative who's, cross all types of disciplines from art, culture, fashion, food, urban development. He recently, helped design the Adidas Ivy Park launch with Beyonce. So that's another Beyonce moment he's had in his world. He's on the board for the Bronx Children's Museum. He's got a book, a children's book that's been, referenced from him as a child and tells his story. It's a best-selling book. He just crosses so many disciplines, and he's also an influencer. So there's so much to Jerome, like so much to Jerome. So I'm super excited to have him come on. Throw up your hearts, people. Throw up your hearts. Let's bring Jerome. Come into the room, Jerome. Come into the room.
Oh, what's up?
What's up, sir? How are you?
First of all, that intro, that was cute.
Bro,
that was cute.
Okay, you know how I felt this morning. So we talked. Like, wait. Which intro? Your intro? Intro? Okay, your intro is cute, right? Yeah.
But yours was popping too. You did a whole Simone thing. I loved it.
I mean, I had to. You know what? And I usually start very like, yes, welcome to the show. But I mean, I called Jerome this morning. But when we talked this morning, that's on my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and we've already had that conversation. So again, even in playing the Nina Simone clip and thinking about that, like it is the responsibility of the artist to reflect the times and be part of those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is so ironic to have you on today because you're about that life in many ways. You are about that life. Yes. So,
thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm glad to have you. So, again, there's so much to you. There's so much. Okay, so let's kind of start at the top. And this is even kind of exploratory. Oh, wait a minute, guys. I forgot this moment. So yeah, hey, so this is one of Jerome's shirts from when was this? What was this from?
So that was the Rebirth collection in partnership with Tumblr.
Yeah. At
their headquarters in 2018 February. That was my last time showing.
Yes. That was amazing. Wait, will that be your last time showing?
Maybe. Right now, I'm done with fashion. I don't think this is significant.
Okay, we'll get there. Okay, that's a lot for me to digest right now. Okay, we'll get there. But anyway, so I wore this with Jerome. It's hot, but I wore it anyway because I was just like, I'll wear it for the hour. Okay, so take me back to the beginning. So again, my first time being introduced to your face, like and knowing your face was Life in the Fab Lane. So how old were you and how did that come about?
All right, so Fab Lane happened when I was 15. I was in high school doing the most. I went to R&D Design High School. And people, I knew for sure that I was going to work for Baby Phat because when I was working at Key Food, which was my first job, I just got my working papers. I was feeling it. And I was telling everyone, like, yo, I'm going to work for Baby Phat. make sure you respect the kid because I'm going to work for Baby Phat. And I didn't know how, but I knew that if I kept calling every day, that they will learn my name. And two, that when it's time, they will automatically give me an opportunity because they knew I was like tenacious and very, hardworking. And like, so it got to the point where they were like, Jerome, we don't have a place for you yet. But when you are officially, when you're like 16, no, when you're like 17 or 18, let us know. We'll try to figure out if you can do an internship there. So I gave up. And then next thing you know, a few months later, I did this honor society program.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Tina.
Oh,
Tina discovered me.
Then? What?
Tina discovered me she saw my portfolio and she said, I was so over it because I was like, these people it's not Baby Phat. I thought I was going to get a job at Baby Phat. I had the vision that I was going to get a job at Baby Phat.
Wait, so at 15, you had the vision, like, you were like, I'm going to work at Baby Phat.
Yeah, my mom. So how it worked was my mom worked on the fashion show for Hot 97 back in the day. And she came home with a plum Baby Phat t-shirt. And she was like in her like early 30s, right? So she was cute. You know what I mean? And I remember saying to myself, like, oh shit, my mom is so fly, and I want to know what this brand is. Because Phat Farm was already out, and I wasn't a Phat Farm guy. But she's the one who my mom introduced me to what Baby Phat was. She was like, it's going to be a new brand. Da-da-da. This is before it even officially launched.
Okay.
And then it launched the next year. But what was so cool about it was when my mom installed in my brain that it was a new young brand, I knew it was meant for me. Because I was like, I'm not going to be able to go to Paris right now. I'm not going to be able to go to Italy to do Versace.
But wait a minute. But even at 15, how did you even, okay, then I need to go back further. Obviously, I got to go back further. Because it's like most people don't start at like, and I'm going to be a Baby Phat. Like, so you're only 15 and like very confident you're going to get a job at Baby Phat.
I'm confident.
So take me back even further of even when design or you knew it was fashion that you wanted to do.
Oh, okay. So my grandparents are the flyest. My grandfather's the flyest. My grandmother, rest her soul, the flyest. And I just remembered my grandmother. We would watch my grandmother would always tell me when Gem and the Holograms would come on.
Yeah,
she was like, my nickname was Mookie. Mookie, the Gem and the Holograms is on. Your show is on. So I will come out and I will watch it with her. I remember watching it like on the floor, like down south, visiting her, and like while my cousins were doing the most, I was in there watching it, and then I was drawing already. So she knew, she brought me stencils and everything. But before that, my mom said my first thing I ever drew was The Wiz, the cast of The Wiz. And I remember it because it's my favorite movie. Yeah, and so that was the beginning of my love for fashion because The Wiz, the Emerald City scene was all fashion.
So wait, was it the love for fashion or was it the love for drawing? Or did you discover those talents?
The drawing was before everything. I knew how to draw before I could speak because my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, and my dad, and my siblings can all draw. Like it's our language. It's what we do. You know what I mean? Gotcha. And you met my family. You see how we are. Yeah. But I'm the one who kind of like kept going and pushing and being a little more like I'm very like type A. So I just kept evolving it, and it's my thing. It's what we do.
Oh, amazing. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so take me back to Phat Farm. I just needed to know how you got to like, I'm gonna be a Phat Farm at 15.
So Tina found me at this honor society program, and my portfolio was out. I had all these illustrations. The thing is, you had to team up with students these are students from all over New York City. Okay, so they were like 17, 18, leaving. I was like the young guy. And I remember being in a group with one of them, and they couldn't speak. They were afraid to talk about their woman, the brand. And so I took over. And I was
of course you did.
Doing the most. I was like, you're going to make us lose, And so I was like, she is this, and she is that. And this is this, and this is that. And they were like, okay, this kid, okay. And then later on, they saw the portfolio. They saw my work. There was people from Marc Jacobs, Michael Kors, few spots. And I remember saying to myself, I don't care about them because it's not Baby Phat. God is real because Tina came by and was like, "Whose is this?" I was like, "It's my work." Like, it was a lot when I was younger. She always puts me off, like, but I was a lot, and I was like, "This is my work." Like, she was like, "You did this?" Because I'm a strong illustrator, and she was like, "This is." She was like, "This is amazing. Kimura is looking for someone just like you." That was it. Because I was sitting sketching, and I was like, not making eye contact with her because I didn't care. And then she said Kimura, and I remember that's the woman that is in charge of Baby Phat. And I was like this. She wrote her name on someone else's card, and I took it, and I remember holding on to it. She put her email, her name, and her cell number on it because she didn't have cards yet. She had just been promoted from being like an assistant or intern to being like an assistant. So God is everywhere, and I knew that I was gonna work for Baby Phat so badly that the universe just decided and did what it was like, okay, let's give him this what he wants.
Which, I mean, I won't go all the way there, but that's how I see you.
We can go there.
No, but I was saying I would take us all the way to like how I know you and how I've seen you move in the world and who I know you to be, because I know there's a lot of discovery for some people, at least in our network. And so I'm just like, but that's how you move. You're like, you think it, and then it's just like, it's almost like, well, that's what I'm doing. Like, that's gonna happen. Like,
and I think if most creatives start to think that way instead of doubting themselves, they will achieve what they want in a timely manner. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been practicing it. Like, this is literally, that was that was probably like the third instance when I was like, oh, I got Baby Phat from doing the same thing I've been doing. Because the second time was getting my job at Key Food. I knew I was going to get the job. I was the only male cashier. So I was like, oh, I'm going to kill this shit. I'm going to get this job. I knew. So the knowing and not allowing anyone to say you can't do it, which is my pet peeve. When people say I can't, I become like a psychopath, like a total. my family say I'm a sage and I'm a samurai, so the sage part, but you also know when the swords come out, I'm chopping heads. Stay out my way. We're on the battlefield. I want to. So it's one of those things. I think if more creatives are have that drive and they feel like, okay, this is not working. Let me try something else. But still go towards that path. Everyone's going to get their goal. Because if it's in your heart,
that muscle, do you think it's something that you innately had that was birthed in you? Like you know what I'm saying, or is it a muscle that you had to like massage and flex?
It's a muscle. I think, like I remember holding. So I'm writing a book soon, right? So I was telling you,
of course you are,
right? So it was about holding on to your feelings and things like that, and not just holding on to them like, oh, this is what I want. Or holding on to them and putting just energy towards it that you really want the outcome to be. That's the short version of it. Because when the book is out, people are going to be tired, like, they'll be lined up in tears because it's like a deep story.
It's very Alchemist-esque.
Very.
Yes. Okay.
But also, I think it's like the word of like, I think it's just the way the world works, the real way the world works, and not this BS, this paradigm that we're stuck in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I believe there's a season for everything, right? I always say this to people, right? There's a season for working, there's a season for sleeping, there's a season for planting seeds, whatever it is you want to do. And I believe that if we work within the seasons of stuff and do the work, we can get what we need from it. Because it's for everybody. Like, we all can tap into it. But if we're being distracted with this or what everyone else is doing, we're not gonna achieve that goal. And I just kind of, me. Bye. I'm going home. Bye. I don't fuck with nobody. I love everybody, but like, I'm about the business. I'm about the work and the dream. Like, the dream comes before everything. So
the dream comes before everything. And that's dream with a J, by the way.
With a freaking J.
With a J, by the way. Okay. Oh my God. You know what? And that even because you have so many things going on that you have to remain focused. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried to call Jerome last night at like 9:30, and I was like, when I thought about it, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I know he's asleep. Like, because you are very regimented. Whenever I wake up, you're one of those people who, when I wake up and I look on Instagram, I'm like, I know he's had an entire day.
A full day.
A full
I'm
day
up
by
at
the time
4.
I wake up. And if I wake up, and it could be 8 o'clock or 9 a.m. and I'm feel like, oh, I'm up early. And you went downtown,
My day is done.
I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Have you always been like that? Or was that one of those like disciplined, like moments?
My whole family, dad, mom, grandparents, siblings, we're all up at like 4 or 5, you know, so and I just naturally wake up. No alarm clock. I don't do all that. We just kind of, and if I'm out late, I'll wake up maybe 6:30. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something, I don't know, and I'm never really tired. So it really, I feel blessed because it allows me to get mad stuff done. Sometimes I just sit in a bed and just manifest, right? I just bring things in, and then I start my day. Sometimes I jump up and just start, activating. Sometimes I'm meditating. Sometimes it depends, but I do give myself some time to like let my brain do what it do.
I wanted to talk about your manifesting though, real quick, because I love the idea of that. And you also go by the moniker, or you have, I don't know where we stand in it, the Style Monk, right?
Mm-hmm. That's my brand. That's my company.
When and how did that come to you?
So the Style Monk happened when my lungs collapsed in high school. I was 16, lungs collapsed, and I had to sit in the bed for like 2 weeks with a giant tube. The tube was like this big in my lung. Yep. And I had to, a Buddhist monk came in, they visited, they just checked in. I don't know why or who this person was. They just simply taught me how to breathe and be present. And that's where the whole, people always call me like a monk. My mom always said I was like the golden child. Like, it's so funny. It's like, baby Buddha shit. It just stuck with me. So that idea of knowing how to center myself and quiet my mind and breathe stuck with me all the way through. So people, when I tell people this, they will go, oh, you're like a monk. And I'm like, I guess, so it works because I truly see myself as a different form of a monk, Yeah. It's a more relatable version. It's not as aesthetic as most of it. It's kind of glamorous in my way, like I'm from the Bronx. I like sparkle, I like shine, I like things that are shiny, but I do know that doesn't come unless I am centered and giving grace to God and like being true to who I am spiritually,
Oh, so spirituality is a big part of how you move and how you exist in this world.
Absolutely. It's the number one thing.
Oh, and that's always, and like I said, we even met at church, which I know church isn't your spirituality space. But yeah, like we even met at church. How, like, has that always been like, and not church itself, but spirituality has always been a centering, grounding force?
Always. I come from a very cool side. My dad's side of the family is extremely religious. Go to church. That's how I was there because my dad went to that church. That was the one time I decided to go to church with my sister Ebony. She's probably on here. And remember, I was with my sister, and my dad was there. My aunt was there. That was my first time in a long time. Actually, that was
what?
That was when I decided to leave Baby Phat. That was literally the Sunday. That was the weekend that I decided to leave Baby Phat because I was in tears because I was so miserable. I was tired of the place. I was not happy. So I forgot about that.
I didn't realize
that. That's the last time I was in
church. That time in church was the last time you were in church. Well, I'm glad. That was like 2007.
Yeah. I left 2008. Yeah. 2008 was my year that I left.
Yes.
That was the beginning. And I was like, oh, I am done. Because I was like, I need to leave this place now. Because it was my dream, but it turned to something else because there wasn't enough change. There wasn't enough progressiveness,
What was it that you felt like there was a glass ceiling for you, like no room for you, or
I was
even just for the company? Okay.
The company was not listening to me. I felt like I was the youngest person there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
You
running
said they
around with
weren't listening
models.
to me. Meanwhile, he's 17, y'all. You're like, they
Yeah,
weren't
running
listening to
around.
me.
Y'all, you're like, what's good? You know, so that was, and that was an ego thing at the time too, because I was like, why are you not listening to me? Why? You know, that I wanted that respect. I had the salary. I wanted the respect. So
Gotcha.
it was something that I took. I took it in and I left after. And that's funny because that was literally the last time I was in a church in that way praying. Like I was with my that was it. And I
Wow.
remember the moment because I remember in tears and was like, I need to get out of that toxic environment because I always felt like I was losing myself.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And so what gave you, because now you're at, like, you're young, you're at your dream job, a cute coin, I'm sure. And so, especially for
All the
your age,
perks.
all the perks,
Mhm.
you're with the people. Like, what gave you the confidence to be able to step out on your own?
Knowing that I was young enough to fail,
Ooh, yes. Yes, for all
and
your young kids out there,
I was
fail.
like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go, and if I fail, I'm still gonna be lit because I already did what I wanted to do. Because that was Jerome then. You know what I mean? Very sure. Like I don't care. But the thing is, when I left, I couldn't find I had an apprenticeship at Ralph Grucci where I learned to use my hands and bead and really make beautiful stuff. But they couldn't afford me because they were American couture company. They don't really make money. Fashion brands don't really make money unless they're a large house or something that people of color can really support. That's how people make their money from us, right?
Ooh,
So,
that's a whole deeper,
you know,
different.
I
That's
went
a
from a
different live,
400, a
y'all.
completely different line.
That's a
So I went
different
from a
live.
$400 million company to a company that makes, you know, who knows how much they was making a year. But I knew they couldn't afford me. And so that was the beginning of me doing the trends and going and like they're going to Paris and doing this whole world that
Okay.
I'm not in but still in a way.
You're
You know?
in, you live
Yeah.
in. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
talk about it. That was in your trend forecast company, more of the structured world
Yeah.
of trending. But you
You know,
are a what?
futurist.
Yes, tell the kids what that is.
So I'm a futurist, meaning my job is to give insight and data and influence to brands, people, companies, whatever you want to call them, 18 months to 21 months in advance. So my job is to always perpetually move the needle forward with culture and concepts. So my world worked. It's always worked because it was, I can say, well, I was in the beginning of hip hop fashion, so blah, blah, blah. I didn't realize that me being like the only black person doing it, one, and being so young, two, and the experience, three, and able to do the creativity, four, made me into this person that people didn't know what to do with me, which allowed me to do whatever it is I wanted to do. You know, because I was like, I have that experience. I did that. I already know what this is. We already put this in. The reason why that exists is because I put it there, like that kind of energy. That was me. Like, and I'm in a place where it's like more humbling. I'm more humbled, and you know, and I'm just grateful.
But wait a minute. So do you think that you are, because you move like that, you're able to, I'm just trying to figure out, even with the futures, it's like, well, because I said it, it happened, or are you like this mystical creature who knows it's going to happen? Like,
It's like
what
a
you
mix of
giving?
both. It's a mix of both. You know what I mean? It's like people want to hear what you see, you know,
Yeah.
and they want to know how that's going to play out for their brand. So me telling them this is what's going to happen and giving them examples of things that may have existed or could tying little conversations together to make a macro conversation so they can
Mm.
understand and comprehend it for themselves. So whether I'm saying I've been talking about right now blue, right? Okay, I'm in blue.
Yes,
We
he's
already
in
know blue,
blue. Send up blue
right?
hearts
You
to
know,
the room right now. Blue hearts. Yes, blue, blue, blue.
you
Okay,
know.
got it.
So blue is Pantone's color of the year, and ironically, to me, blue. I was moving into blue naturally, but blue is for soothing and it's protective and it's about intelligence and it's all something we need right now. And so my whole studio became blue. You know, and my wardrobe shifted to blue a little bit. I'm more casual now, but it's that, you know, it's like formulas. And so I use myself as a guinea pig now to show that it's gonna work. So people are, oh, I don't get it. I don't know. They used to
You be
be.
like,
Not,
I'll show you. Like, watch
and
this.
then they go, whoa, you did that. And then, so that was the reason why I started the brand, my 531 brand.
Yes, we are moving along. You know how to move a conversation along. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So that was the reason why I did 531, because 531, which is my birthday, 531 was
Sunday.
my, hell yeah. 531 was my opposite, which was maximalism, which is where we are now, against the minimalism that was happening. Because we had normcore, we had minimalism with Celine, Phoebe Philo. Everyone was like, "Oh, Phoebe Philo," and everything was so like basic and so. I love Phoebe Philo. I own a lot
I
of
know you
Celine.
do. Yes.
But I made the brand specifically opposite, even though it may not have been what I wanted. Like I knew it was important in the market. So I spoke about, So when I was doing this, I went into. I'll never get this, and I'm going to call them out because I don't care right now. I went to Vogue, and it was my first time show. It was pre-show because you do desk sides, and I showed my collection. They were like, well, I don't really get it. I don't really know how it's going to come together. I was like, well, it's high-end fashion. It's high-end streetwear. It's mixing denims and luxury beading because I learned that, and streetwear and making it just sexy for women. And they were like, well, I don't know. This is before like all the editors started getting their picture taken in the streets, and it was, like, so they didn't comprehend like the importance of what streetwear could be. And I'm so grateful that I just was like, well, I'm just gonna still show, because they were like, well, we don't really understand it, and well, me doing that was like the best thing ever, because in my conversation, I didn't have to be in Vogue because I was in the New York Times. The New York Times covered my first show. They wrote about me being a brilliant young person. Elle covered my show, Harper's Bazaar. So it was like looking at the wider perspective of what fashion really is, because it's not just Vogue's conversation. Vogue is made for a bunch of white women who are taken from culture. From
Where'd you go? Okay. You were right in the middle of it. I was like, did Anna Wintour come into the live and chop us?
She's like, what's going on here? My fiance was trying to call me.
Okay.
Let me let him know, like, he just needs to chill out. Anyway, he's probably going to try back because I didn't have a chance to talk to him. I was like, no, it's like, it was getting good.
It was getting good. Okay.
So long story short, it was just, I used 531 as like a way to talk my shit and show a different perspective that most brands are afraid to go into, which was mystical and glamorous and spiritual and playing with like all the glamour, all the stuff that Gucci's doing now was my brand.
All the stuff that Gucci is doing, yes.
Everyone's pretty much doing it, from areas using sparkle and crystals and beading. All that stuff they're doing. I already been there, done it. That's why I'm done with fashion, because it was a cute ride. I've been there, done that. And I've dressed everyone I need to dress, and my brain is bigger, and it's a humbling thing. It's like, I already did it. I don't really need to sit here and spend my money on making garments. And now look at us. Who cares about fashion when everyone's trying to survive, from getting shot in the streets to keeping a job, whatever it is. I don't need that. I'm going to keep a sweatshirt on. I'm going to come in with a Margiela boot, and I'm going to make sure you love what I'm telling you. And that's where I'm at now.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so wait, because there's so much, and we have 24 minutes, so I'm trying to time this the right way.
Sorry.
So we did. No, this is good. It's all good. So 531, amazing run, dressed everybody you need to dress, showed Vogue and the rest of the kids what y'all will be doing soon. Boom, boom, boom. 9J.
So 9J was me putting another middle finger up to the industry because they weren't giving new designers opportunities. So that was me saying to Jeffries, I can do it too. So I opened Jeffries back in the day, which I loved Jeffries. They opened up in the Meatpacking ages ago, which now they're closed.
Yes.
So I opened my store in the South Bronx to tell the same story, but I made it more magical. We had Ducati, we had Diptyque, we had emerging designers. We had Pimance in there. We had like everyone from just everybody was in there.
Oh my god, it was it was really a mystical, magical space.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
And it was a mood board for me. So I used that to change the walls, change the concept, and tell a new story every time.
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. So it was like walking into Jerome's mind, and every time, and it would be like, oh my god, this is what you're doing in your head. What are you doing?
Right, from sneakers to pottery, it was my way of saying this is what creativity can be in the Bronx.
Oh, I love it,
and I'm grateful for that.
Okay, and so yes, you opened doors for and opportunities for emerging designers. Again, you got your creative juices off in lots of ways. You brought visibility to the South Bronx. This South
got the
Bronx
New York Times cover.
Yes, the New York Times cover. Yes, there are like
that cover.
You let's talk about the New York Times cover. Yeah. Tell the people.
I'm so grateful. So his visualization. So I always said in my brain, I'm going to be on the cover of the New York Times, giving highlight to the Bronx. I didn't know how. I just knew it since before, and I got that.
Another moment of manifestation. Some of y'all need to sit in your beds early at 4:00 in the morning when you wake up and manifest. Because New York Times. I'm speaking to myself, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, but we all need that. We all need to. I need to take my own advice too sometimes, because sometimes I'll just be lazy as fuck. But it's true. Give yourself some time to let your brain do what it do.
Yes. But New York Times cover.
New York Times cover. Got it. Did it. You can Google it. It was a success. That's it.
It was amazing. That's it. So one of the people who ended up coming in there to support. Okay, let's talk about the Knowles. Tina came in, and it was Tina's first time to the South Bronx,
in the Bronx.
So tell me about that, and then let's let that flow into an abbreviated version of your Beyonce associations. And
Word. Okay. So Miss Tina. Okay, this is okay. I was asked to do Beyonce's costumes for her tour. It was Formation, and I was like, "Yeah, my store's about to open. She's about to wear my stuff." This is when my store just opened.
Yeah,
and so Beyonce didn't use it because she had stronger designers who had the D squares, wherever they are.
Yeah.
And there's a big people who vouched for it, but she held on to it. It was a bodysuit that was beaded with beading on top of it.
Yeah.
So it was put into the closet. Miss Tina came in one time during the tour in New York and was like, "Who made this?" Out of all of the racks, all the people. So I'm over here, and it's around the same time because it was actually the first week of June. It was my birthday, so I was like, well, and I said to myself, God, I thought you wanted me to stunt on these bitches.
Stop, I'm sorry, I have to sneeze.
It's the truth, bless you. So he said, and I was like, I really thought he wanted me to stunt on them because people were sleeping on me being in the Bronx, So I get a call. I'm bleaching my eyebrows because I was like, I'm done with this shit. I'm just going to go home. We went home early. I bleached my eyebrows. My phone was going off like crazy. Here's Tina. And here's Zarina on my phone talking about, what are you doing? You need to get to the stadium right now.
Stop.
So watch this. So that was my first time. VIP escorted, everything. And I felt so loved and appreciated. So here I am. We're like a few rows in. They're parting the seats for us to get in and to go to the backstage after. So we went backstage. Miss Tina gets off and was like, "Oh, so you're the young man," because I never met Miss Tina. "So you're the one young man who made that amazing piece. We need to talk. Are you coming to the after party?" I was like, "I don't know." She was like, "You're coming. Make sure he's taken care of." And then the next thing you know, I met up with her the next day, and we went to get fabric, and because she wanted to add some more on it. That's what the whole point was. And she ended up spent the whole day together. She came up to the bar. I was like, "Well, I gotta go because I gotta open my store." We went uptown. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come up with you." She canceled her flight and everything and came to the store and spent time with me.
What?
Amazing woman. So, long story short, she came up there, spent time in the Bronx. She's like, "This is my first time in the Bronx, baby. She was so wonderful. Still is wonderful." And, that was the icing on the cake because I got Miss Tina to come up to the Bronx, and that's what started the whole 9J, 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 9J. And it was wonderful.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I love that. I didn't know
Magical.
that story.
And
That magic.
I was joking. And so what happens is I joke a lot, like, that would be mad funny if Miss Tina came to the Bronx. She said, well, oh, you going uptown? Okay, cool. We'll drive you up there.
What?
So it was really, and she got to know me more. I got to know her more, and I was with 100. I'm like, yo, I'm a hustler. Like I'm about this work. Like I would rather work than party because I love what I'm doing. And she was like, and it was a wonderful opportunity. And that was 2016. That was when I just opened. I had just opened it. It was only open for a few months.
Wow. Okay. And so then that's your first Tina moment, Beyonce moments, right?
No, so the Beyonce thing happened in 2013. My second
right, with the purple coat.
Yeah, with the plum coat. She wore it twice in one day.
Yeah.
And so, and Zarina hooked that up. That was me giving up. So what I do is sometimes when I feel like it's not happening, and I try to change my vision. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do my line anymore. This is the second season. I'm not getting much attention. Jeffries had just turned me down. And then I hit up Zarina and was like, yo, I'm mad that she's out wearing a Moore sweatshirt, one of my 531 sweatshirts that had iridescence on it.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, sweatshirts, we don't need sweatshirts, we need pieces. And so that was the first time she's ever worn a black designer. And that was the beginning of the conversation of who is Jerome, what is happening, and why we should give any attention. The smartest part was I used social media to my advantage. People were ordering that jacket directly to me on my Instagram at the time.
Oh,
and that's
that
before
how you
that's 2013, 14. Yeah.
And that was Instagram even new for so that's how you started getting all those followers as well as orders as well as visit.
And I was like, who is
Futurist?
What?
Futurist.
What? This is it. So it was all it was all a dream, but the magic of it was, it led to me working with Miss Carter recently.
Yes.
And her team is wonderful. Hey.
So
shout out to all her people because they did an amazing job.
So
and they allowed me to participate.
What did you do with this?
So my role was to do the design as far as like silhouettes, color, concept, and work with the Adidas team to like make it feel more like her. The best part was me and what is her? B Star? What's her? Brett Star?
Bria.
What's her name?
Bria, she's here.
Yeah, Bria. That's my boo. Yeah.
Hey,
so
Bria.
Bria's my boo. Where she at? What's up? So put some hearts up, Bria. So Bria. So what was dope about Zarina connected me to Bria and. Did I lose you? Oh, okay. So I was headed to Coachella for Google, and basically, they was like, "Yo, Beyonce wants you to make some stuff," and I'm like, "I'm not making anything. I can't. I'm not possibly. It's impossible. I'm already headed to the airport." So I started sketching stuff for her, and Bria, I adore you. I can't wait for us to finally meet.
Oh my gosh, she was on last week. We love Bria.
She's a beast.
She's a beast.
She's a fucking beast.
She really is.
And I love people who are about that business. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She made that pink outfit come to life. So I sketched it, and Bria and Zarina worked it and made it happen for the following week of Coachella. And it was so cool to see just the network of like how we all could work together for a greater cause. And
teamwork makes the dream work.
It really does.
I love that.
And that's how that came together. And then Miss Carter was like, "We like what you're doing," and then that's how I spilled over into the Adidas thing. The magic is this: many moons, I kept trying to get a job at Adidas as a trend person, and they never responded back to me. They never acknowledged me, and I just felt like I wasn't good enough. And I stopped that. I stopped caring about Adidas, and then that's when I was approached to do this Adidas partnership. So there's so much more. When I write this book, people are going to be, because there's a lot. It's deeper than that. It's way deeper. There's so many other things in between, and so many full circle things. But that is the reason why I call myself the Style Monk, and my actual company is the Style Monk. I do business as, because it is who I am and it is authentic, and I just can't believe that it's such a dreamy situation that we're in. Like, I just can't believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know where I'm headed next. But I do know the conversation is going to get bigger, because I'm done with fashion. I'm done with that energy. Not in a sense where fuck fashion. No, I'm in a different point in my career where I rather give highlights to new designers, new talent, and new artists around the world. So maybe I'm an executive producer. Maybe I'm a best-selling author. I don't really know yet, but I know I'm gonna get there, because now I'm using this ability to do different things with it.
Oh, yes. I don't know what it is, but I know I'm gonna get there. Everything to me. Okay, so let's talk about what you are actively doing now. So yes, Ivy Park was a success, amazing. That was recent, and that's a recent moment. Okay. There's so many other things that we could talk about. Tell me what's top of mind for you. There's Bronx Museum. There's, again,
Bronx
A-Life.
Museum. I have a A-Life. Okay, fashion director for A-Life. It's coming. Everyone's seeing it. It's changing, shifting. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I still, those are my family. I have the situation with the Bronx Museum. I'm the youngest trustee of the Bronx Museum of Art, which I love them. We're going to keep pushing that. Hopefully I can influence some more, younger people to get involved.
Yeah.
Then I have the Bronx Children's Museum, which is a separate entity altogether, and I'm doing it's like an AI environment that's going to be it's a brand new exhibition that I'm a part of, and I'm designed this whole environment. I've called it Bronxtopia. It's gonna be so cute because it's like little animals and people go in and dance and be the animal. It's gonna be dope. That's later 2021. Sneakers. I have a sneaker with Puma that's about to hit. I don't know. It's postponed. I designed it with a new designer. He's a young footwear designer who made the sneaker during quarantine. He made it. He was doing video.
What?
He's a beast. His name is Mike the Don is what we call him. So talented, but he was also rejected. So I like new young talent because I was, again, given an opportunity at an early age. So why not pass that forward? And there's other projects, but they're all like.
How do you keep it all going, and how do you keep track of it? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a big team?
Nope.
And do you have an agent that
you're looking at him? Nope.
An agent who represents your interests? Like, how does this? No, for real. How does this work?
It's just me. Everything you see is me. I don't have a team. I don't like working with people as much. Because I'm very type A. I wake up at 4 a.m. If I'm sending emails, I want people to answer at 4 a.m. I'm crazy. But I love just getting things done. And I love people. I worked with Tina. Tina was my former manager. I learned a lot from her as well. Mm-hmm. But I just know what I want from me now. And we'll see. There's agencies that are very interested in me. We'll see.
Gotcha. So then tell me this. Okay, so don't have the team, that's fine. But even as a one-man kind of creative army, because that's what you are, in all of these different realms, with all of these different people, with all of these amazing projects that have all these different pieces to it and people to it, then tell us what is your key to productivity and organization, even just yourself. Like, again, we know you wake up at the crack of dawn. So that's
4 a.m.
But what?
So
what
I
are
use.
the keys? Yeah.
So so this is gonna be in the book actually. So I use the number 2 for everything to measure. So I'm the second born, so I'm a Gemini, so this is like my thing. So here's the thing. So every 2 hours, what am I doing? Did I meet my goal? Did I finish his emails? Did I da-da-da-da? Boom. So 2 hour intervals is my measurement. 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's the way, from the minuscule to the back row. That's how I measure everything by 2s.
Wow. Okay.
So and then when I I'm writing it. So Actually, and funny, a publisher wants to meet with me tomorrow on Zoom. Remember we spoke earlier?
Oh, wait, since I talked to you earlier today?
Yes.
Manifestation. I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't know who this is. But yeah, so isn't that wonderful?
That's amazing. Congratulations. It's always up. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So hopefully they like what I'm about, and like we choose, they select me. So we'll see.
And if they don't, something better and more in line with who you are and what you want is going to happen because you manifest things. That's what you do.
Exactly. I don't know who. I gotta see who is ringing my doorbell. I feel like it's like FedEx.
Okay. Wait, do you have time? You got to go right now?
Oh, we're good.
Okay.
They're supposed to leave the FedEx at the front.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say, okay, and then you also had a children's book as well. I just want to do a quick note. Yeah, because I think that's really dope.
Peter Reynolds, who's a children's book author, used my likeness when I had my pink hair to write a children's book. His name is The Word Collector. That's the name of the book, The Word Collector. It's a blue book, a black boy on the cover with a pink striped shirt, pink hair. The Obamas just read it the other day, like a week ago. So it was cool. It's cool because I'm in culture in different ways, and it's a best-selling book from Scholastic. So it's always going to be there. Like my name, my likeness, my energy. If you open the book, if you read the book, you'll see that it says certain things that the only people who know me knows. Like emeralds is my color, and Wizard of Oz is in there, and you'll see it. You'll see like, oh wow, this is straight up Jerome.
Oh my gosh!
And his name is Jerome in the book. So, so it's a fun thing, and then it's culture in a different way.
Okay, so what is top of mind for you next? I know you said you don't know exactly. I mean, you have a lot of projects already lined up, but what's important to you to do? You know what I'm saying? Do next. What's something that you know you want to do that you haven't embarked on just yet? That's maybe in your 2 decades or.
Oh. I really want to tap into television somehow. I think the executive producer situation is me, because I turned down opportunities to be on shows. I'm not the guy to be in the competition, and they noticed that, so people are interested in seeing me kind of behind the scenes and seeing how my brain works. So I'll be in that side very soon, whether it's me pitching my own show or whatever it is. But I want to be a EP, an executive producer of something.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what about in the art space? Because you're very prominent in that space as well. Like, so I mean, again, the museums, Bronx Museum, Children's Museum. Like, what do you see in terms of art for our community?
Well, I want to see more. First of all, we need our shine. Right now, there's a little black movement happening, which is cute. It's little, but are we being strategic with it? Are we using our resources accordingly to like really get that money? Because there's so much money in art. Art's the only thing that doesn't go down when the economy drops. The value will go up. So it's an investment, and exactly. If everyone starts to invest in art, it can be a really beautiful estate for people. So. And I've been investing in art and doing my own art as well.
Yeah.
And because people want my art, which is so funny. Of course. I think, I want to show something in December next year.
Okay.
During Art Basel.
Okay.
So I think 2021 is going to be cute.
That's going to be lit. That's going to be lit. Okay, so as a creator with all these different endeavors, what are you most proud of so far in your career?
I think I'm most proud of. Wow, I did a lot of stuff I wanted to do already, right? And I knocked it out the ball. Got so much more from it. So grateful. Thank you, God. I think I'm really most proud of. I'm more proud of my family.
Love it.
which is so weird to say. But I'd rather, like, I love my family, and you know, I wouldn't be where I am if they didn't give me the chance to express myself, from wearing lace front wigs to, you know, like,
You do it
my
all.
family allowed, you know, they embraced me. They allowed me to be creative in every sense of the word. You know, there's not too many people who will understand a 15-year-old who wants to do something. My mom allowed me to, and she knew I was mature enough to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't drink. I just started drinking, so I feel cute.
Oh,
You
you
know,
drinking
like,
now? Yeah, you are
I just
drinking.
started drinking.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cute.
like this year.
Okay. I
It's
can't
so
wait to
bad.
drink with you. That's
Like
gonna be a whole nother
champagne and a
level.
little shit. You know, like something. So I learned a lot from my family, and I think my family is what I'm most proud of. From my niece, who was a smart young lady, to my sister, who was like, she's kind of my assistant, um, you know, in her own line.
Yeah.
I love my family.
I love that. I love that. Okay, we have 3 minutes. I want you to leave the people with, do you have, like, what's the best piece of advice you could give for creatives out there right now? Like, again, a lot of creatives aren't as blessed and fortunate as you to have built this and just kind of have the confidence to move in these spaces the way that you do. So just for those kind of like up and coming aspiring creatives who are multi-talented, multi-hyphenated, what would be your piece of advice?
Follow your dreams and not other people. That's my quote. Like, period. You know, and just remember, you know, every stone is a stepping stone. So turn it around and use it as a platform. Like, you just have to keep going. If you really want something, there should be nothing that's going to stop you from achieving that goal. Like, do what you need to do.
Do what you need to
And,
do.
right? Because they get discouraged, or they get misled, and they let that consume them. But if you just kind of say, okay, that was a learning experience, bam. Okay, these people are treating me this way, awesome, they're over here. And just, if you stay in your lane and you focus on what you really, really want,
Out of here.
on that. And people are going to
Yes.
be gagging. They're going to gag when they go, oh shit, how you do that? Oh shit, how you do that? Because you focused on what you need to focus on, and you put in the motherfucking work. And that's the most important part.
Boop! And on that note, Jerome Lamaar, creative unicorn, everything, the style monk. Yo, thank you so much for this moment. I needed this. We all needed this. So many gems.
Thank you for having
Are you
me.
kidding? Absolutely. Absolutely. You're like the creme de la creme. I appreciate you so much. And I want to see my shirt soon, and keep us posted with everything else. I know this isn't going to be your last time within our network, because you're going to keep doing stuff and we're going to keep wanting to talk to you. So,
Yes.
right?
I
Okay.
love it.
Okay.
And this is great what you're doing. Keep it going.
Thank you. Thank you. I will in some way. Okay. Bye.
Later, bro. Later.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that was so good. Jerome Lamaar. Yo, I know y'all that's a lot of nuggets. Okay. Creative Genius Report. We are office hours. We're about to clock out. We clock in again tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We have Jamel McWilliams, an amazing choreographer. He's Lizzo's choreographer, Janelle Monáe. He's going to talk about Oscars, Grammys, VMAs, all kinds of stuff. Our season finale show is going to be on Friday at 2 o'clock. We're going to be doing giveaways. Look on our page now to be entered into the giveaway. Tag as many people as you want. Enter as many times as you want for each prize. It's going to be amazing. Thank you to all of our people who donated prizes. And yeah, it's going to be lit. It's going to be amazing. We're celebrating. Say his name, George Floyd. Rest in peace. I love y'all. Thank you again, Jerome. All right, guys. Clocking out. Peace.